And I think we're live. We're live. You can probably hear Mark in the background. Hello, everyone. If you're catching the replay, welcome. I'm Steve. Mark's around. Say hi, Mark.
Hey, everybody.
He's going shopping. And this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Welcome or welcome back. Welcome. And we are live. And I have to say, I'm having a moment with my beard right now. And this is somewhere in between feeling lazy and not sure if I was trying to cut a chin strap in. So I had a 5 o'clock, much larger shadow. Tried to cut it down and across. I can't do it. It's like trying to cut your own bangs to get them even. I think after tonight, I'm just going to shave the whole thing off and start over again. And just stick with a goatee, which seems to be a little bit easier. So that was today's adventures. Otherwise, it was not too eventful of a Saturday, so I hope everyone's good. I hope you all are doing well, being safe. It is so hot in our apartment right now. It is 80 degrees today. It was 80 degrees with the heat on in here. So something a little more loosely fitting would probably be a little bit, you do cut your own bangs, middle, but do you see if you can do it well? That's one thing. I can't do it from this side to this side, and then I don't even play with my eyebrows. And I mean, I have atrocious eyebrows for a gay guy. If you have, if you want to put it like that, they just tend to be thicker, and I don't manscape. I do, however, as the year goes on, when I shave my face, as the years have gone on, the eyebrows are trying to glow closer together. So I hit it with a razor coming up this way, try to spread it. I had my first boyfriend 1,000 years ago plucked my eyebrows. Said it would make me look good. I looked like a beat up drag queen with like bread marks all up here, all bright red, everything hurt. Just not for me. Just not for me. Chantal's a bad influence. I just bought the family a chicken dinner. It's Killjoy. We have to pick our heroes carefully. We do. So last week when we were here, we were live and we chatted about the usual happy crap of last week about how she was going to leave Canada then come back. She was going to start a new life over, talking all about Canada. And then the next day, she got whatever reaction she wanted from Sala. And she's like, nope, I'm fine. It was just homesickness. I was just sad. Grateful, Sandra, Killjoy, hello. So that was the big middle of last week. Usually if stuff happens on the weekends, it's fine. Thanks, Waldo. I think they're okay. And if they weren't, oh well. I'm probably not going to do too much about it. I went to get my hair cut at a proper barber. I still had enough hair at the time. And he trimmed my eyebrows with the clippers and a comb. I didn't ask him to. He must have just thought it looked busted. So he did it for me. Great guy. So, going into this week, I've titled the video, Chantal was happy as if she was right, because Chantal carries that sentiment a lot. It's one my great-grandmother used to throw out there a lot. If someone was like a complete idiot, but they were all smug in themselves, and she'd be like, they're as happy as if they were right, as if to say, don't ruin it for them, don't piss on their parade, just let them have their moment over there. The passive aggression that came from my Irish and Catholic ancestry going back, that spilled down generation to generation to generation, and some of those bits of language and figures of speech just stuck. And that was one that did. And it seemed rather appropriate for this. Bless their hearts would be a perfect other one too, Squeaky Nips. Absolutely. Bless their hearts, bless your heart. Ending it with like, are you okay? Too, is a little bit of a dig. So this week, Nader came up again a couple times. Sala brought him up, or did he? And then Nader brought things up. We did mukbangs. She was on the couch for a couple mukbangs. Hello, Australia, how are you doing? And was just sitting on the couch. She had the fast food funeral. Well, we've had several fast food resurrections in the meantime. Talking about mukbangs, talking about boycotting products. And we'll talk about that this week because she had a long list of things she was going to boycott because she has principles. Do you think they're actually getting a new one or had to sell the old one to fund Thailand? They weren't planning on getting a new. They make a lot of big, fast decisions. It's just what they had moved within how many months, how many times when she first moved over there, and then switching, I don't know. But if he's going to be out doing Uber Eats all night, he does need a good car to drive. I mean, fair is fair. No judgment. We all do gig things. It's fine. A lot of us have full-time stuff, and gig is just meant to be that. Gig. And real money comes from somewhere else, or the bulk of the money comes from somewhere else. So, mukbangs, pickiness, If you question her about the mukbangs, you are trying to shame her because you're being picky about a boundary that she set, or she failed to keep, rather. So, she had a bit of a health check-in during the week. We talked about her immaculate blood work. I gotta say, this is an editorial, but I think, and I can't read her mind, but I think she was having so much more fun with Nader, no matter what she says, than she is now with Salah. She's just still burnt about it. But I honestly think she was much more excited about life. She smiled more, she giggled more, she laughed more. Sure, look at why. But she was apparently happier in that situation. Take her out of that situation and you put her somewhere where I feel like I'm a changed person. I feel like I'm very blessed. It doesn't sound like she's had any sort of religious conversion. It sounds like she's joined a cult, and that's not what Islam is either. It's not supposed to be a shield of behavior, and the rules aren't just suggestions. Otherwise, why join a religion? Yes, Andy, the energy in her videos at this point is not a whole lot. They've gotten lazier and lazier. I think it's going to be to the point where she's going to turn the camera on, and she's just going to set food there, tell stories for 8 minutes, run 75 ads in the middle of it. There's nothing to it. There's nothing interesting. I don't care about the things she talks about. And not that I prefer the drama to her dumb videos. I'd rather see her get good at making travel videos than ditch them and try to replace all of that with this bullshit, with all of the nonsense. And we are in mid-November going to December. We haven't even seen nothing yet. You thought Cuba was something. She's got some money to make back that she thought she would have made, I think, when she was in Thailand. She gave out some monetary results this week of how much she spent. And I can't think they even broke even. I couldn't even think they'd break even on what they spent going there and how long they stayed, and the conspicuously long amount of time they stayed, which might have needed some extra money to pay for the extra thing, i.e. hawking the Where's Your Santa Fe. So she's been eating her food with fungal cat. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, yuck. She was nicer to the camels than to us. That's how she is, though. But animals are pretty in tune. You can't bullshit animals. You can bullshit people easier than you can bullshit an animal. Dogs know. Cats know. I would assume other animals know if they have a relationship with you. And they can just smell it. You're either the kind of person that's the cat jumps right in your lap and loves you, or they walk, they just ignore you. They just keep it walking, walk past you like a can't be bothered to. So the cat also did come up a bit this week because there was, I guess, a report that Julia had ringworm. The cat needs more care than it's getting, and anything else is more important than that first. Now, she may have gone out and taken care of the cat just fine, but she knows that it bothers people to bring up feline care in a way that she's not doing it correctly. And then she then whitewashes any critique of her pet ownership at all with, you don't know what's going on camera, it's not your life, what do you care, blah, 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 blah. Has she spent more time away from Julia than with her? Because when they got Julia, she went for, 6 weeks almost that she was in Thailand and left the cat with somebody else. Chantal doesn't have friends. Maybe Salah did before she got involved, so no one was watching that. Somebody was coming over probably periodically just to mix up food and everything. Not vaccinated and rude for bringing it up. Yes, Sandra, I think it's exactly the point. Why bring it up? Why bring it up? Nobody would have been any the wiser. People would have asked, and you could have ignored it like the other ones. But bringing up the fact that she's doing something that could hurt somebody else, it's only a problem if it bothers her. She's not bothered. She got ringworm from Chantal. Well, Chantal has a bit of a history of social disease. That exists too. So, ringworm from Chantal. The camels, the camel park where she went. All right, let me go back to, get a little bit strict, and I'll start back in order. So, Chantal was out with the camels last week. So you guys saw the video of the camels. They're out in the middle of nowhere for no reason. Nothing leading up to it. Nothing we're not going out after. Suddenly, plonk, we're at camels. And there's this one that looks kind of ill. I think it's crying, but I'd have to look up what crying means in camels. I'm not sure if it means it's sad, it's thirsty, it's just what it is. I don't know. I know when the cats are like that, we get a little warm washcloth and wipe it off. And if it's too recurring, we bring it up to the vet. But Sala making a reference, sort of, to Natter, saying the camels remind him of somebody. So now Chantal wants to set up two men fighting over her. Two men who want nothing to do with her cannot be forced to look like they're fighting over her. They're not going to be. So his name comes up. Now, this is the time of year when she needs to make the most money. And she's going to bring up the most controversial things of the last 18 months to try to make it back. Now, she's so known to be outrageous that it's only the newest of people, and by new, I mean a few years. If you've seen Chantal since the beginning, you still have to shoot from the hip. You can kind of tell when she's being sincere, when she's bullshitting, when she wants to change but isn't, and when she wants people to think she wants a different life for herself than she does. What she wants is that life with Natter, but no consequences. She wants back to a time where she could buy behavior from her partner, which she, as much said she did. So, you know. Good evening, hello, hello. Sala is definitely better. Well, I mean, I think she had more fun with Natter. You know, and I think this whole little, yes, paper clips, false police reports, all this stuff. But it's the excitement, it's the drama. I know she's bored. She is so bored sitting there that all she can do is eat. Because she doesn't have, don't confuse abuse with passion, with, you know, a thriving relationship, with haughtiness to it. One doesn't always go with the other. And maybe she did want something a little more simple after Natter. But she's not happy. She's too much of a drama queen for this modest little life. She's going to have these little periodic explosions of her real self coming out, you know. Getting drunk and high all the time doesn't mean it's good for you. Self-care isn't something Chantal thinks about. She lives for spite. Spite. That's it. The only reason she traveled is because people said she probably couldn't do it. The only reason she jammed herself into one plane seat as best she could is because people said she couldn't. So she spent a ton of money, put herself through the ringer on 2 vacations that she probably couldn't enjoy, just for spite, because someone said it doesn't seem like she goes out enough. Suddenly Sala doesn't want to be on camera. Sala being in the other room while she's eating, even if it is true, why? Like, if she's not doing anything particularly disgusting, why doesn't he just, you know, sit over on the stove, I guess, and have his plate right there too? He's always in another room doing something else. He's over here doing something else. He's seeming more as time's going on like BB and less like Natter. Because as we're going forward, it's more like he's here, he's still part of the story, we just don't have anything for him today. So he's just gonna go do what he does, and then she'll stay home. So she's bringing up Natter. He brings up Natter, allegedly by making a camel comment, which Chantal made about Natter, because anytime Chantal compares a person to an animal to a country, it's not meant to be, you know, some sort of unkind statement towards the person. No, not at all. People misunderstand what she says all the time, like Charlie Cole and Leprechaun and Goblin and all that stuff. And some of that is people being a little sensitive, but the bulk of it is people being put off by someone who's so ignorant. And that's allowed. That's allowed. That's okay. There's room for people to talk about it. We have comment sections. This a way of running a channel where there is such tight control over all that stuff. And it's how Chantal keeps control over Sala. She, you know, Sala saw Natter. Unless he's an idiot, he has to know the same thing could happen to him. She lied about stuff that Natter did. Why wouldn't she lie about Sala? If she wanted to make herself look the victim at the end of this, we would have something close to that Cuba, not the bees, not Cuba, the Canada video, where I'm coming home, I miss home, I'm homesick, I miss this, I miss that, I miss that. Well, whatever Sala wasn't doing, he did by then, and she decided to stay. We get different reasons and stories for why things that happen in her life happen. And when they double over each other and don't make sense, that's when she has to get caught talking real fast. Oh, what? So I have to lie to protect my privacy. You people are monsters. You've never told a lie? I think you probably told a lie too. Everyone thinks there's so much, it's a virtue signaling. Calling you a piece of shit liar is not like virtue signaling. That's describing. That's addressing. That's a little bit different. So, Ponderous Bros, hello, hello. So, the bullshit with their anniversary, which is going to be coming up soon, and she made it a point to say that they're only going to discuss the month they're married, not the actual date. They're going to keep it to themselves. So she went there to get married, made a whole channel about it, and any questions beyond anything are perceived as wanting to know too much. Chantal wants to dictate that You are going to watch 15,000 of you this video of me eating McDonald's, and if you don't, there's something wrong with you. So, holding his wife's severed head. I don't know. It's not natural. They're not natural, comfortable, interactive kind of folks with each other. They don't seem to have much chemistry at all. I have more chemistry with Bandit than she has with her husband. Bandit actually hates me. So, the fast food resurrection that we had after she, had the funeral, she decided she was going to do maybe some not so mainstream products. She was going to get rid of Pepsi, McDonald's, Google, all these things that she lives on, thrives on, and depends on. She wanted to make a statement like she cared about something to say she was going to boycott anything. All it means is not on camera. And if she does do it on camera after saying she's boycotting it, she's just getting a rise out of the people that know that she's a fucking idiot. That she'll just say anything for attention. She'll lie about anything for attention. She'll lie when there's no reason to lie. That's beyond just hiding a few secrets. That's getting off on the process of deceiving people, and makes her feel in control, I think. And that's what allows her to, I think, have the smugness to sit there in the condition she's in and look out at anybody and have advice about people living their lives, or how they should conduct business, or how they should run their channels, or how they should conduct their families, or how they should raise their children. Those have argued, some have argued, that Chantal's infertility is in fact proof of God, because somebody saw a little further ahead how things could get worse. That seems a little cruel to me, but, don't forget to thumbs up the stream. Thank you, Inui, and thank you for the super chat. Oh, these are gorgeous. These were out front. We brought these in. Everything's dead outside now. It's all frosted over, but we brought these guys in before the end, so they were able to live. So the boycott she will not be doing. And it's shaming to pick out something. If she said she's going to boycott a product and she doesn't, and you say, I thought you were boycotting that. You're not supposed to do that with her. You don't bring that up. That's not the kind of thing she wants to get talked about. She wants to make a video where she does next to nothing, yawns the whole time, and then goes off camera, and maybe enough people watch it. Maybe she'll have a snack later, film that too. After too many days of no one watching, she'll bring up Natter, she'll bring up the cats, she'll bring up BBJ, she'll bring up French Fry Girl. She's only got a few hits left. She has got no new material. It's just the same shit over and over and over. She rearranges the character sometimes, but her life isn't much, How dare you point out her hypocrisy? And that always evolves with her. Oh, you've never been a hypocrite? Oh, you've never done that? No, but I don't make it an effort to do it. I don't write it off as everyone treats people like shit, so I'm going to do it too. Well, everyone treats me like shit. Oh, poor victim Chantal and her lashing out at the world. The world is better. America, Canada, the Western world is better with her there. It's just as well. There's that many fewer distracted drivers on the road in Canada with her being there. So it goes. The Immaculate Blood Work. Again, everyone treats themselves poorly, so what's the difference if Chantal's A1C is triple digits? Why have an issue of that? And as far as her health being concerned, she lies. Like, we know she lies. She's come clean on lying before. And Chantal can't say, it's personal, I don't want to do that, because for the amount of stuff she'd want to keep personal, she'd have nothing to talk about. So she replaces the truth, not with a request for privacy, but with a lie. And then when it gets called out on that, defends it by saying, I have to do what I have to do to keep my privacy. So you've given yourself permission to lie to anyone for any reason, and are confused when people ask about the quality of the person that she is. Like, she lies about everything. She lies about stuff that doesn't even matter to lie about. She just gets off on seeing if she can slip a little lie in there and have it this is not the girl that gets, the cowboy in the end. This is not the girl who's going to have it all her way. Unless she seriously cleans her life up, she's going to have nothing but messy relationships, if she's lucky. Or, she'll end up, I don't know, she's pretty much alone now. She has people that tolerate her and that she pays. So, I'm no longer a danger to society. I am Cornholio. I need more tea. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. My. So, she would get all red and tight, demanding people leave the stories. believe the story she had about her medical stuff. You can't ask a follow-up question, like Sandra said. She blames other people for her problems, and, you know, everybody lies. Everybody treats themselves poorly. So her blood work is immaculate. But even if it wasn't, that doesn't mean anything about her. Yeah, most of our 95% of disease, it's like lifestyle oriented. You know what I don't have anymore? Smoker's cough. Have I quit smoking? No. But I started vaping at the same time. And I went from smoking like a pack and a half a day. Now I'm at about 5 cigarettes a day, vaping in between. Is it better? I'm still addicted to nicotine. I'm not getting everything that was in a cigarette, but it's not a long-term solution. But as a crutch, I'll take it. And then, you know, I'll probably have to taper off that. This is the last of my addictive vices. I've nearly died trying everything. So we're hoping once the nicotine's gone, all that's left is caffeine, and I'm pure as freshly driven snow. So yeah. Natter was more fun than Sala. True or false? As far as she's concerned, do we think she had more fun giggling up and down the snow road to go back and forth to his place, Ada, and having the good times, the ruckus stuff, the partying, all that stuff? She misses it. Of course she misses it. Now, it's not uncommon for someone who does identify as having a substance use problem to miss the glory days back when. Those are the ones that she gets nostalgic for when she makes the go home video. If I were home right now, I could be high. If I were home right now, I could be having wheelchairs. If I were home right now, I could be texting that. Or if I were home right now, I could be ordering Uber Eats. She told everyone she wanted a lifestyle with a little less freedom, essentially, because she's chosen a way of life that has less freedoms allowed to it. Says she loves it. Next day, can't stand it, needs to go back to Canada. Next day, she loves it again. Natter Saga triggers me. Seems like she fetishized a bad idea of a relationship. The whole Nader thing is just having time to look back now. I don't know. I believe victims. Was she a victim? I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever have the answer to that. Probably. Was it two people screwing each other over in a weird, masochistic, sadistic kind of game playing out online, and they both got off on it? Maybe. You know, kind of like Cruel Intentions, but with like Natter, Dee Dee, and Chantal instead. Not as many people would go watch that as a movie, now that I think about it. And then bringing them all back up now. So now Natter is back on the radar. Did some video talking about Foodie Beauty. Dee Dee's in the place. It's like the gang's all here. It's like a weird, jacked up mamas and papas with the 4 of them. 2 abusers abusing each other, a one-up routine. That's, yeah. Her behavior was inexcusable. His alleged behavior, was inexcusable. See, we've seen on camera the shitty things that she did. We didn't see much of his. She just went to the police. She's an abuser. Her doing the stalking, sitting outside of, we'll call it Natter. Let's say Natter was a nice guy. Let's say, I don't know him like that, but let's say he was a nice guy. And it just didn't work out. She drove in the middle of the night to his place, parked outside, blasted Melissa Etheridge music while he's in there with his girlfriend. Banged on the door, demanded to be let in, gaslit one of her viewers to call the police to get her medical device so she could go in and get. These are a fucking medical device, you drama queen. So you have to go back in and get it. And then try to manipulate the cops to let you go in and get it so you can take a look around. All that fucking trash drama. She would still take it over Sala. Absolutely. Melissa Etheridge. Does she love you like the way I love you? Yeah. That was what she was going for. The CPAP rescue. Yeah, that was live. I remember watching that live as the cops came, and I'm like, what a stupid waste of resources. Give the baby her bottle. Here's her mask. Get her on her way. Grown-ups are having other things to do. She still begged him back after the CPAP. She still would. She would. If there was any way, or if there is any way she can talk to him or about him without Sala knowing, she will. And I mean, how can you do that? How can you go on in real time? I believe Natter was abusive. I believe Chantal was abusive. I think it makes it look who's to blame, who started it. Gender-wise, usually it would start with him. you know, but and make her some sort of like Stockholm syndrome, like he was abusing her and then she fell in love with him and she grew to defend him. No, Chantal Googled a lot of Google articles about abusive relationships, and suddenly when she read a new list of symptoms, characteristics, the next day she was on, she had those too. So she wanted all the pity of someone who's being a victim, but all the rage and control of someone who's in charge of the situation. Now, Solid, there's not as much of that because he's boring. He's not interesting enough for her. Chantal has her own issues when it comes to dealing with men. There was a woman, I was in the 12-step circles for a number of years, and there was a woman who had said, oh God, what did she say? It was one of those wise things that sticks with you forever, but now that we're talking, it completely went out of my head. Now to drum the paid more, and it's that time of year too. So then we have that. She tried that manipulation with BB, but it was not normal to give her the drum. Yeah, BB was a little above all this. I think, yeah. BB got out at a good time, too, because the shit got real fast right after she went in with Pete's. Delana found defending Chantal, but plenty of victims do voluntarily go back to their abuser. And it's not uncommon for people to do that. What's more uncommon is to use that fact as a victim to continue to excuse and yell at people. She was saying, I can't stand to be with him. Okay, don't be with him. Thanks, guys. I went back to him. You guys hate me. BB dodged a bullet. BB dodged a big bullet. I don't think I ever saw him smile once on camera. He wasn't on camera much, to be fair. It was much more Chantal's channel with no extra characters. Pete's once in a while. But maybe Solid wouldn't be so... Yeah, maybe there's an outhouse on the way to go see the camels. Maybe that's where they went. So... she manipulated the situation. It's hard to care. I think I said this last week. You know, let's talk about virtue. Am I a bad person because I don't feel that bad if something bad happens to her? You know. Hey, what can I tell you? I don't want to see anyone go out of their way to do it. The closest thing I saw to that personal of an attack was, it was like 2 weeks ago. There was all these community posts that I was seeing popped up that had the pictures of Chantal around Google headquarters, I think in New York, with her face and the animal abuser hashtag and her with the thing and the whatnot. So, said Nancy without the towel. So, I don't know. I think we need a little vape break, nicotine vape break. Susie, karma is real, and it'll come back around to her. Like, I do think it's a matter of angles, though. Like, there's plenty of people who would look at Chantal's life now and say, this is your karma. You can't even keep company without buying it. And even if you buy a dinner, it eats the dinner in the other room. How less loved could you feel? The shallow thumbs ups that you get from the people who they've known her for 2 days. She'll gain that 1,500 subs, run something out the side of her friggin' mouth, and they'll all go away. And she'll come on and half-heartedly apologize and then come back and double down on being a bitch and say that everyone deserves it. So, she continues to abuse her animals. She does, and the reasons she's giving are very similar, too. Like, Julia needs fixed. Ringworm, other stuff going on. You know, and Chantal, I would do that, but I'm not super comfortable. Okay, I'm not always super comfortable doing everything with... I've never had a cat, but I've got Mark here, and Mark's had cats for, you know, probably upwards of 40, 50 years since he was a kid. So I trust him to be able to do stuff. But I'll give you an example. We had, Bandit needed medication. He had an allergy. So they gave us, I forget the name of the drug. You can get it through, you have to go through the pharmacy, the vet pharmacy. And it could be administered with a pill shooter or just liquid injectable, you know, try to get it inside his mouth. I'm not comfortable with a pill shooter. I didn't know what to do. So that's from asking, they said, try this with the liquid, it'll be a little bit easier. So that way, even though I didn't know what I was doing, I could find a way that would still get the cat's needs met, get them the medication they need, won't be traumatic for them. How could it not be traumatic to stick something down something's throat and fire it? I mean, if it's needed, it's needed. But I didn't just decide not to get the cat care because I didn't know. I wasn't really sure if I felt like I could do it, so I didn't. Next time we're at the vet. You've seen her car. The Kia cars, pets, you can... It tells something about... It doesn't tell everything about a person, how they treat their animals in their cars, but it says a lot. It says a lot, especially animals, because that's a vulnerable, living breathing thing. And if you've decided to insert yourself into its life to take care of it, step up. Don't step up for attention and then, back up like, oh yeah, I have a cat. It's sick, but, we're thinking about traveling again soon. The cat was only for spite, to rile up people on her channel. It was stupid. It was very short-sighted, pretty selfish. The signs of neglect in the villa, too. Yeah. Yes, Cozy. Cat's not a toy. Cats count. Anything with a heartbeat, you give it a little bit of consideration. Besides, Julia didn't choose her circumstances. Chantal chose Julia's circumstances. And the fact that she had zero record of treatment before that makes me think that she did pick her up off the street. I didn't, but what would be the big deal if I did? Because you might have taken a diseased animal into your home where you already had another pet. But it's cute, right? So, the cat does nothing for her, so low priority for her. She doesn't get anything back. If she was getting snuggles and headbutts and all the lovey-dovey stuff, maybe she could play off like she was having a good time with it. But, no, Oceana, I agree, Julia doesn't like her. The cat doesn't seem to. I mean, Bandit doesn't like me, but we're just stalemate like that. Like, I feed them. Mark feeds them probably 4 times a week. I feed them every other meal. So try to make sure that they're taken care of and looked after. And if I don't know what I'm doing, I ask somebody who does know what they're doing. And I still fall into the whole, if you can't think of a way to pay for at least routine veterinary care, it's not a good, and have a way to get the cat to it. Like, it's one thing, oh, I have a great veterinarian. Where is he? 40 miles away and I don't drive? Okay, that's not a good veterinarian then. That's not going to help the situation. She wakes me up at 4 a.m. the next, oh fun, oh fun. What happens to Julia when she's dumped after they're done? She'll probably feel freer than ever. I hope somebody takes the cat. The Amber Lynn plan. Oh, Amber Lynn Reed. I get a little sweaty. I get a little dry throat when I hear the name Amber Lynn Reed. I could have gone 2 directions when I decided to do, because we're not a reaction channel. We just do some reviews and commentary, but because the channel's not exclusively about Chantal, I never really took it that deep. I suspect, though I don't know, because it's been years. Like, I've been following 4 years after Chantal. Our channel has not exploded off the content. It's not really all we do. I like doing it, but it's not the whole thing. If I wanted to make a little more money, I could do Chantal reaction videos 7 days a week, each with a 2-hour live, and could probably quit my job. Because there's a market for it. I don't know. Not providing care because of not driving. Think of her. You Uber, whatever it needs. If it was a baby that was sick and needed help, it needs, in my head, if it's the same level of illness, the same level of urgency. If an animal's in pain and it's mine and it's my job to take care, who else is supposed to? So it's just for a profit, just to get people mad. It just reiterates what a selfish pet owner she was. If they're doing something for her, oh well. Oh well. So, demonetizing. So, the couples channel, this week, it was being reviewed, was dealing with being demonetized. I suspect if you covered Chantal, you would never quit the cigarettes. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So, the couples channel that they have came up demonetized. And there's a number of different reasons why people think it's happening. A couple pretty legitimate, one couple kind of shady, and a couple that make no sense. So she's migrating all the content too in another change from the couples channel. So all those vlogs, the boring stuff, the walks, the hey babe, all that's going to be chopped off and put onto the Foodie Beauty channel. And that channel's not monetized at the moment. So the rumor mill went, well, was it something Natter did? Was it because he talked about Natter and he reported, and Natter will report anybody, and got jammed up with that? Is it because they have below 4,000 hours of view time and the videos just aren't making money and it's not monetized because it didn't meet the criteria? I was looking at her numbers from Social Blade. That channel has 10,000 subs and she's an internet person. She shouldn't be getting views like us. You know, we're just 2 guys who barely know what we're doing on YouTube, having some fun. And I don't know. The Chantal show was incorporated so people think it's something with that. We'll see, I guess. Demonetized. She moved the videos, and then the issue of monetization was going to be, can she put them back up? Is it like double dipping? So it's all her own content from another place, but taking all that stuff down that already had a once through of the mill, and then putting it up again, I don't know how YouTube sits with that. Like, in my gut, first thought, it's like, I don't think that's going to sit well. I'm thinking if that's right, it's like only on a technicality for some reason. I mean, she's not stealing from anyone. It's her own content that she'd be using, but it's already been monetized once. I don't know how she thinks she's going to go back. I'm hoping it's against TOS, because otherwise what she wants to do is just, oh, these videos didn't do well there, but it's a hot time of year. She can't get taxed for it if it's in Sala's name. We have a winner. We have a winner. She will die. She will not be forced to pay taxes if she has to move out of the country and rig up her whole business to do it otherwise. Apparently, YouTube has been demonetizing channels for making shorts from your own content, but there's a link on the bottom of the video that says, create a short out of this. That they create. She would totally double dip. She has someone who has such loosey-goosey values with their other decisions in life are probably the same financially. Chantal is only doing well because she has a high income. She doesn't have anything saved. She has no plans. She doesn't own anything. Nothing. Maybe the cat? I mean, that's all she's got left. So, we'll see how all this works with switching. How did the demonetization work? I thought, that's what I said, thought not enough hours maybe, and then I thought, no, she did it herself to try to rearrange the pieces, the chairs on the deck of the Titanic. She was moving stuff around. But no one's gonna go back and watch. Like, what does she think people would do? All of a sudden be re-interested? Like, nobody who watched Foodie Beauty had any idea that she had a couples channel, or that those couples vlogs are any good. I mean, jack of all trades is like a great thing, but you want to kind of, you know what I mean? Like, you want to have something you can focus in on. Her channel's been about 1,000 different things. The only thing her channel has been about for the last 4 years is deciding what her channel's about. I don't know if I'm a mukbang channel. I don't know if I'm an eating channel. I don't know if I'm a fashion channel. I'm just really indecisive. Years of this shit. Years of it. No, she has nowhere to go home to. I'm sure Thanksgiving's a lot more relaxed with her somewhere else. So, double dipping is against TOS. I went and was reading up because you can't make money twice off the content. This is what I was thinking about, even for ourselves, because we're live. We'll talk. We're here. And then it's over. And then after the live is over, monetize it, place ads in it. YouTube will do on their own if they want to. Now they actually are doing that shit. I went to see where they put the ads in a video, because now YouTube puts the ads where they want, pretty much, unless you go in and change the mid-roll location. So we had a video the other night, it was 20 minutes long. It placed an ad at the 17-minute mark and at the very, very, very end, right before the end roll ad. So I let them pick, and that's where the ads went. And then I looked at the numbers, and it wasn't like, we're not running a whole business here, but it's relatively consistent, the amount of money we have coming in, or it's at least predictable based on the numbers we have. It's higher this time of year, so rather than like penny a view, you're getting penny and a half a view, or more. So a video that might have only made $10 might make 20. So, and for a channel our size, that's a decent enough jump. She will still have to pay taxes in the US because USA and Kuwait do not have a tax agreement. She will still have taxes. It's not about, she knows she owes them. It's about not having to do it. And it's about why she's in some special set of people that doesn't have to do that kind of thing. You know, I can appreciate, like when I was sick, taxes got away from me. They do. So filing for an extension, a couple times I had to file for an extension. I mean, things happen. But the bulk of what's happening with her is that she owed tens of thousands of dollars in taxes that she never paid. And then moved to solve it. You know, she will mention periodically that she's dealing with some financial issues there. I had a friend who did the same thing. They moved abroad and never paid one of their student loans back. Not one. So they had a $60,000 head start on life that the rest of us didn't because they just chose not to put any money that direction. Somehow they maintained credit, but serious hospitalization is needed. The crisis will be real. I hope so, Andy, but like we knew Life by Jen, and she had health crises, and the more serious they got, the more blindingly ignorant she was to the seriousness like of our situation. So, hey Hellfire, how are you? You know, but I think she's getting closer to this point of like, everyone has gotten so good at propaganda since like the mid 20 teens, like around 2015, 16 or so, that pretty much anything will pass for the truth depending on who you tell it to. You know, and there's still an audience of people around Chantal from the beginning that would believe everything she says, and they like her as a person, and they like her just the way she is, warts and all. I don't think there's that many of them, but you know. So, we're good, Hellfire. Thanks. We're living. We are blessed to be in a warm place on a cold evening like this. It is rather balmy in here, however. So, bottom line for her money-wise, across the board, is that money's down. And she did do a bit of a breakdown on her trip to Thailand. Breathing's not. No. And it'll be someone else's fault. What do you see? It'll be someone else's fault when something bad happens to her that's 100% weight-related and 100% avoidable. Yeah, but a lot of normal people who eat regular portions get mistaken for pregnant with triplets when they're in public. That was another review of Thailand, she had said. So, in reviewing her trip there, she talked a little bit about the money that was spent. They were there 42 days, I want to say is how long. She mentioned being fat-shamed while she was there when she ran into the woman in the market, a woman with a high forehead, holding a baby, and asked Chantal if she was having a baby, and Chantal said, "Oh no, just food." Like, that's a normal response. Like, and acted like she was shamed for that. The woman was holding a baby, and in her defense, nobody's stomach is that big unless they're like Octomom. Like, it's unfortunate where she carries all the weight, but if it looks pregnant, the only thing that would have made me think, like, of course she's not pregnant, because that's her husband. No, they're not sleeping together. Of course she's not pregnant. But that was the assumption she had made. And Chantal, of course, looking to be a victim, spun it around real quick. She was making fun of me. She was making fun of me. So for the Thailand trip, she tried to crunch some numbers together. So over that whole period of time, her first estimate was about $3,200. And then going back, it was about $5,300 that she spent. Now, guesstimating what Chantal makes in about a month, you know, her super chat game was a lot better during the 5-hour live days. That's where she was making $20,000 a month on videos. Can you imagine that much having come and gone? I mean, all come and gone. All of her Thailand numbers were wrong, and she can't do simple addition, plus she didn't include... Yes, Erie, she's like, minus... Food was about $700 some. $700, and she absolutely was going to leave out 7-Eleven, because that means she only ate that many dollars worth of food a day for months. No. She says with her own words, she only looks to see if she can pay all her bills, and then after that, she'll decide if she wants to scratch her ass or be a hero and make another video. People don't get that big. I had another friend who was from Asia, and said as much. It's not about a moral thing of you're a bad person if you eat, but the world is not... Most people aren't that big, so most things aren't meant to accommodate everyone that size. You know, we do have control over the shape of our body as much as there is control over the shape of the airplane seats. We can be a different size when we get on the next plane, not have to find a plane with big-ass seats. You know, we can take a little control our direction for a circumstance we don't like being in and maybe try to do something about it. But that's... She's too busy lying about making pizza. Lying about making takeout. Let's see. She doesn't seem to understand currency exchange, which was kind of the thing that I had got. She complained about the tuk-tuks, the little things, you know, that they take around, and basically bitched that she was cheap, and that to bid to get a ride, you have to, you know, a certain amount of money, and then it becomes competitive on the spot. Who's going to pay more? I'll take you further for less, for more, whatever. Now, she should at least be offering double. Because as far as that man's concerned, there's the weight of 4 people in the back of that thing. And to want to spend less than everybody else to carry 4 times the weight? Nope. I mean, I'm not shaming her. I'm just saying it's a lot more to drag. It's a lot more to carry. Lied about going low carb. She'll never go low carb. This is good carbs. She'll say it's not no carbs, it's good carbs. It's a process. I'm still on my journey. As long as you're trying, you never have to succeed. You try. If tried, failed. Why don't you try this again? Why don't you try that again? Her whole channel is about what is my channel going to be about? When it wasn't and it's always been obviously a mukbang channel in between all of this, because Mama knows where the money comes from. So if things get a little loose and she, you know, only gets about 4,000 views on a video of her trying on sunglasses, then yeah, the next thing she's going to do is have a big sloppy KFC gravy chuggling mukbang to try to bring the money back in. I think she almost wants a level of pity, because this is the kind of content she has to do to make a living. And YouTube, it's different though. It's like, YouTube's not your boss. 4 pounds of white rice is not good carbs. No. The family size, when we were talking about portions, and that's not a binge because that's not that much food, or that's not a binge because that's not too much food. And then we have food for 3 people. Oh, they just give you a lot. You ordered a lot. You know, Chinese food for 3, and then tell everyone we're misunderstanding the definition of binge, that we're not seeing what we're seeing. The emperor is naked. The emperor looks naked. The emperor is naked. So. And Chantal trying to do spiteful behavior too. Like, it's not, it doesn't hurt me if Chantal eats a pizza. It has no impact on my life. None. To the extent that it would trickle in, it's a channel I follow and comment on. And so when I have another video about it, I'll mention it. Not a big deal. Not a big thing. Was she fisting the fried chicken and bread? Oh, yeah. How is it not a binge? Exactly. She acts out. She's excited. She's messy. She's doing it deliberately. She's also turning it on a little for the fellas. Here's up, Chantal. If you didn't know that there were a thing called feeders, you do now. There's your marching orders. Oh, wait. You thought you heard of something similar? Of course she did. Of course she did. And I think she probably used to do private food type things. When things could be private, you know, as such they were. Or even on the OnlyFans she would have tried it. But, you know, she was the oldest profession. All she had to do was lay there. And she couldn't do that either. She was going to do a sleep stream. She was too lazy to... Thank you. Cuddle Cats just wanted to say I really enjoy your videos. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. She knows, yeah. She does know her audience well. She knows her haters as well as her beezers. And that she just has to throw out a few things here and there that'll get the pot spinning. You know, so, Sassy Mango. Ah! #1 fan. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I like the super stickers. They're fun. They're a fun thing to see. There's other features that go on channels that I'm not sure. Like, we have some features not turned on because, like, I know, you know, the VIBs or whatever other channel, they have people, and, you know, people who are members of your channel get special benefits and stuff. I still feel like there's not, like, we don't have memberships, but I kind of feel like it's because what extra can you give someone for their $2.99 or whatever per month? Beyond that, you know, you have exclusive chats, or you could have exclusive lives that only people can come to, so. Sugar plums. And the Annie video just dropped. Sometimes the second meal is for Sala. The second meal is for Sala. He's in the other room because he would be vomiting profusely if he was watching her eat. So. Sweetheart, membership is just another way to show your support. Thanks, Wendy. I appreciate that. But when and yeah, it's something I'm not saying no, I'm saying yeah, but I want to see something like, what would make me want to buy a subscription from another channel? And think, is that like, I don't know. You need a little bit of self-importance to be able to say, I am important enough to pay to watch. You know, you need a little bit of chutzpah to kind of get that out. You always have to kind of flatter yourself a little bit to think anyone's interesting in the inane mumblings of a life, mine or yours. And even if I'm talking about somebody else's, I mean, what could be more boring? But we flatter ourselves to think that we, you know, we're masters of our craft. So the cat distribution system needs to bless me with a surprise cat. Just a new video on their anniversary. Oh, fucking A. Of course. Their anniversary. Which one? For which wedding? From the beginning, it's been blurry. The whole married thing has been blurry. Was it a religious ceremony? Was it a legal ceremony? When was it? Where did they get married? Did they have to do it a couple times in a couple different places? I'm okay. doing it for free. I'd rather, folks, but that's fine. So the anniversary thing. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't really think it's her cameos raking in the dough. Yeah, mine too. Hi. You want to get something pre-scripted and saccharine from someone who you don't know, who doesn't like you, and is probably going to ask you for food at the end of it. Her marriage needs its own Samsung filter to look normal. It does. It does. Thank you. Thank you. She doesn't even know. She doesn't know the date. She doesn't know the date. And she's playing that because when she originally said, you know, we're married, it's like, well, did you go to the courthouse and get a certificate? Or did you, you know, one of the 2 times she was in a mosque, she met in with him and they married and it was all in the eyes of God, we're married. So it matters not what's in the hearts of men or something. The only reason to make it blurry is because there's a little bit of a lie in there that needs to be smudged. So it's a little less obvious. So removing certain videos and then saying certain information will be limited is her attempt to do that. And I don't, you know, you can have privacy offline. Of course you can. But replacing them with lives or... Couple's channel got demonetized. There's one school of thought that no way would Chantal do anything on her own to demonetize a channel. It must be part of some other process or it was not her call. Makes sense, but Chantal is also not new to YouTube. She can do a little bit of the long game. So, we'll see. We'll see. So going into next week with her, I honestly do not know what we'll be looking at next week. It is hot. Ugh. We're getting to the end of it. I think this is the time of day one of my girlfriends says that she gets home from work and takes off her bra and just relaxes for the day. I'm guessing taking off a hat is the same feeling. It was cold in here, but it still gets sweaty. So my head gets cold because I'm bald, and I'm bald and I wear hats because my head gets cold. So video is gone. Loophole marriage. Yes, Nicole. The loopholes that she admitted to having to go through when she got there. And who... We're back. We're back. Of course, right at the end of the stream, too, you know. I'm back, y'all. I'm back. We just got lost for a minute. My Wi-Fi here has been ass. You know, I was pretty good. No, it wasn't you guys. It was me. Bra off, sweet relief. I'm guessing that's the feeling. It's like, ugh. Not like I care. Like, when I go to work, I'll wear my hat in my office if it's cold. But if I'm going to present in front of a group or anything where I have to put a tie on, I can't wear a hat at the same time. So, I think the loophole marriage was the 11/6 we're married video, and the paper marriage was the 1/6 video. Make sure you like and subscribe before you leave. Yes, thank you, folks. Please thank Wendy for blowing me up. Subscribe. Thumbs up. Smash that like button. Be sure to... Just slipped for a second, Stephanie. Just slipped for a second. So, I'm going to leave it here. And I'm going to make my assessments going forward for this week the same as I did for last week. I'm thinking because of the time of year and that she's coming off a shitty couple months money-wise, that it's going to... There's only so many ways Chantal makes money. Drama, eating. Drama and eating. Thank you, Wendy. We have great mods. We have such good mods. And good lurkers, too. We just have good folks who come. It's just an easier chat to have. And it's a little less volatile than maybe some other places where Chantal gets discussed. You know, certainly don't want to make excuses for her, but also not tear her to shreds, you know. 102 likes and over 300 in chat. Come on, folks, give it a click. She needs money for the next visa run, correct. And what if she finds herself stuck somewhere again longer than she thinks she needs to be? And it's out of her control to be somewhere else. Like with Thailand, they went for a trip and they had an itinerary and they did a lot of the stuff, it looks like, too. But also, I think they stayed way longer than they were planning to. Absolutely, orange is November, December. This is where we're going to get peak Chantal. Peak year, okay? So, it's going to be drama. Natter's going to come up, of course. French Wrecker will come up, of course. The cats, all the stuff she makes videos about. This is the last time I'll be discussing it. And then she discusses it like the next day. And it's somebody else's fault that she lacks self-control. Like, it's my fucking problem if she goes off the handle over stupid shit. You guys just want to see me mad like this. No. But What can I tell you? Life's tough. It's tough for all of us. You finally made it to the live margarita. Good. I'm glad you were here. Double the money. Push the couples channel today. I'm going to see how this shakes down. I get the feeling that on a technicality, she's going to have her way, because she usually does. But it could go really south, just moving all that content on the assumption that you understand terms of service, because Chantal doesn't understand terms of service. So, well, thank you, Little Miss. Thank you, thank you. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank you all for being here. This was a fun chit-chat. It was a fun live to have. It's been nice to check in on a Saturday. Your reactions are fair and tactfully done. Funny to boot. I'll take that, Freedom. If those are the three things that my views would be known for, I'd be happy. Fair, tactfully done, and funny. If I did that, then we had a good video. So thank you all for joining me, and thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You get alerts when we have new videos and go live. Please do hit the thumbs up if you'd be so kind, and thank you for everyone who came. These are usually our more full chats. We were almost at about 300 at peak, so thanks for being here, and we will catch up with you tomorrow. Mark and I are going live at 6 p.m. Eastern for our regular chat on Sundays. I'm off Monday too, so we'll catch up with you then. In the meantime, have a great Saturday night. Look after yourselves, look after each other, and we will catch up with y'all tomorrow, okay? Thanks for another video. I was nervous. You guys made this easy. So thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, Mark. He's not home yet.